Welcome to More and Less, where you get more substance, more stories, more entertainment, more education, more enlightenment, and dare I say, much more. All, mind you, in under 3 minutes. Check this out. Money, moolah, bread, clams, cabbage, dough, De Niro, paper, you name it. As long as they don't call it counterfeit. Gotta be careful because there are some fugazi bills out there. As the saying goes, you don't want to take any wooden nickels, and hopefully you're not slapping anybody over the money. And America is printed in two places, Washington, D.C. and Fort Worth, Texas. That said, have you ever really looked at your money? Have you looked at the numbers on there? No, not the ones that tell you how much the bill is worth, but all the other numbers, not the serial number. Well, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Here are two $1 bills. If you look close, there's a 2 on one of them and a 6 on one of them. On this $20 bill, we have an A and a 1. On this $5 bill, there's a L12. On the C note, a D4. But why the numbers and letters? I'm glad you asked. Each number represents one of the 12 Federal Reserve banks that it came from. And of course, these are each represented by a major city. It starts with 1 in Boston, then goes New York, Philly, Cleveland, Richmond, Atlanta, Chicago, St. Louis, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Dallas, and ends in San Francisco at number 12. Now, just in case U.S. geography isn't your strong suit, here's a map showing you where those cities are and how they're located across the U.S. These 12 reserves are responsible for certain regions as well. Here's a map that shows you how it breaks down to those regions. You're welcome. Since it's broken down into these regions, that's what makes it actually a decentralized system, although most of us think it's a centralized banking system. Now, before I go too far left and miss the reason why we're here, let's get back to those numbers and games you can play with it. The numbers, of course, just match up with a letter. 1A, 2B, 3C. Got it? Simple. The game or challenge will be try to collect all 12 of them and see how long it takes you. Once that happens, wash and repeat. If you travel a lot, it may be a little easier, but people are traveling all over the United States, so they're bringing money with them to the place where you live. So you really don't have to travel at all to get all the bills. They will circulate enough. There's enough circulating around, but how fast will you collect them and will you beat the people you're competing against? I would suggest, unless you're balling out of control, to use $1 bills because remember, you have to collect them and get all 12, and sometimes it's best to collect all the dollars you can and see how long and how many dollars you collected before you got to your goal. Here's an actual spreadsheet of the last contest that we did. That highlighted area is Minneapolis. That means that was the last one that it took to be found for the winner. Of course, if you live in Minnesota, then that will probably be the easiest one for you to find. It just depends on what region you live in, who you're competing against. I mean, the scenarios and fun could possibly be endless. What's not endless is this video. As usual, we're going to cut it off around this 3-minute mark. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you subscribe. And we hope you take advantage of the game.